All right, today's lesson is 16.3 box plots, and our essential question, how can you use a box plot and measures of spread to describe a data set? So notice the difference there. Instead of measures of center, it's going to be measures of spread. So our numbers are going to be spread out a little bit today. These are vocabulary terms that we need to know. Is where you need to know the least value. I'm sure you guys remember that as being the minimum from years past, the lower quartile, which is the median of the lower half. Okay, the median itself, upper quartile, which is the median of the upper half. So what we're basically doing is calculating three medians today, right? That'll make sense in just a second. And then the greatest value, all right? So that's known as the maximum, all right? So I'm just going to add these terms here. We have the minimum, and then the other term you're going to be seeing here, which isn't on this page, is called the range. And the range now is going to be the difference between either the maximum or the minimum, all right, or the upper quartile versus the lower quartile. So two different ranges we're going to be looking at. Okay, so let's look at our first example. This is what a box plot actually is. So take a look at it. It's kind of strange looking, right? So you see some dots, and then you see some boxes in the middle. And so everything we just looked at is here. All right, so take a look. Pretend the question is a survey. How old are people that belong to a dance company or club? And take a look here. So we have our minimum is 18. All right, so that's our min. Our maximum is right here. So between 28 and 30, that's our oldest student, oldest dancer. So that's 29. And now the median's always going to be the middle point. All right, so that's here. And now this is the new part for today, is finding the median now between the minimum and the median itself, okay? So this is where quartile comes in for, because I do this, all right? So here's my halfway point, right? And now here's my maximum, and now I have from middle to here and middle to here. And these are my 4 quarters now. And we talked about this back in our early fraction units, right, when we're doing closest to. So it's kind of the same idea today. So the challenge is just going to be paying attention to how to calculate those two medians. It's very simple. You just have to understand where they're coming from. And this is a nice little guide that GoMath gives us down below. So take a look here. If I have all my numbers in order, all right, the lower quartile median is in between the min and the median, all right? So it would be the average between those two. And then for the upper quartile, it's the halfway point of my maximum and my halfway point, and then it's the average between the two. So notice right here, this is an even number going across, right, because I have the two added together to find the average there. All right, so take a look now at a really simple example. We'll start simple, and then we'll get a little bit more difficult, all right, as we go. So a student scores the following points in 5 basketball games: 10, 8, 13, 15, 17. These are the steps now. Again, very, very simple to start, all right? You'll see that hopefully here. All right, so let's do this. All right, so order the data from least to greatest. All right, I'm going to do it down below here. So I just put them in order. We've been doing this now for a week. 8, 10, 13. Oh, I forgot about the 7. I'm sorry. Simple mistake there. All right, so always got to be focused when doing these, right? 7, 8, 10, 13. And 15. All right, so now they're in order. All right, next step, find the median. All right, so right now, since I have an odd number, right, it has to be one in the middle. So this is the median right here. Next, find the lower quartile. That's going to be halfway in between the min and the median. So that would be 8. So let me write these where they belong, right? So the median was 10. The lower quartile is 8. What I can do here is already looking ahead. I'm going to make a dot right there. Next, find the upper quartile, and that's halfway, the middle between the max and the median. All right, so very simple, right? That's a 13. And then lastly, make a box plot. All right, so what we want to focus on first is our quartiles and our median right there. All right, so once again, this is my lower quartile. This is my upper quartile. And then in order to make the box plot, what I need to do is just connect it now to my 2 dots on the end like this. All right, so that's all you have to do today is you have to just understand. All right, they're going to not all be as simple as this one, right? Because I gave you guys just 5 points. So the ones you're going to see now are going to have more values, which is, better because in 6th grade we should be able to, go to the next step when it comes to this. All right, so here we go. Let's do this again using a little bit more advanced number set. All right, so this is a good question. You guys could do this with your grade if you wanted to. The heights of several students are shown. Make a box plot for the data so we can measure you guys and find the inches, how tall you guys are. All right, so here we go from least to greatest, and I'm going to just go across the bottom here. All right, set this up already. All right, so what do we have here? I got 50s. My lowest 50 number is 54. All right, so there it is. I'm going to cross these off to help me today. What's after 54? Looks like I have 56. I have 2 of them. All right, so I'm going to do 2 56s. All right, what do I have next? I have 58. I have 2 58s. I probably should have spaced a little bit better when I was starting because I might run out of room here. I have a 59 and then a 60. And then I have 2 61s. A 62, 63, and a 65. All right, so thank goodness I can write on the screen and not on the slide itself, right? Because I'd be doing that all over again. Second one, find the median. All right, so here we go. All right, how many number sets do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so what I need to do, I need to go 12 divided by 2 is 6. All right, I need to go 6 over, and it's going to be right here. Okay, so that is going to be where my median is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that side. So my median is the average between those two. Halfway in between. Hopefully you guys can see that without dividing. It's 59.5, 59.5. All right, I can already start to get ready for my box plot. So I'm going to make that dot there. All right, next one. Find the lower quartile. So I need to find the median now. All right, so since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to be here in between these two. So 56 and 58, that's going to be 57. All right, if you can't see that again, you take the 2 in the middle, add them together, and divide by 2. All right, that will get you to 57. Hopefully you guys can see that's the halfway point. Next one is upper quartile. Find that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be in the middle, so it's right here. All right, so it's halfway in between 61 and 62. All right, so that's going to be 61.5. And then lastly, make a box plot. All right, so the thing I haven't done yet is I haven't made a dot for my maximum. Okay, so I'm going to do that there. Now I'm going to make the box in the middle for my quartiles. And then I do the median here, and I connect to my maximum and my minimum. All right, so take a look now. This kind of shows me where to focus on in my data. All right, so you can see how, since it's a little bit more spaced this way, there's more numbers that were in this range opposed to in this quartile. So that's what the boxes do. All right, so it's kind of a cool way to look at it very easily. So again, take a look at here. If this is my median right here, and this is my lower, and this is my quartile, I can just use this to draw conclusions on this is where most of the numbers are right there. So you just have to find out where the median is and then the upper quartile, and then you can really draw that conclusion there. So it's a really nice visual way to represent data. All right, so this is what you guys are going to do now. All right, so you're going to do 2 different examples. Okay, you're going to graph now. All right, RBI, so this runs batted in baseball. All right, so a nice connection to hopefully an upcoming baseball season here. So you're going to do this there, follow the steps, and right here. So take a look at the 2 questions, the IQR and the range. So the range again is max minus min, and then the IQR is the difference in between the 2 ranges. All right, so it's going to be upper quartile, UQ minus lower quartile. All right, and then you find that, and then the last one. All right, you're going to use a double number system that we've been talking about. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging. All right, so any questions, let me know. Very basic today. It's just about following instructions. All right, so go back, watch this video. Those of you guys that aren't following the directions in the videos, it's going to be very obvious today. All right, so this should be a very, very simple score for you guys. Any questions, let me know. Happy to help.